Hello, guys. Welcome to Maxi CFC. I'm coming to you with a review of the Manchester United versus Chelsea game. Sorry it's late, guys. I had a really busy weekend. It was my wife's birthday, so we're out doing things with her over the weekend. Not before watching the match. I actually watched the match so I can give a proper review. My sidekick's not here today, he's not available, Zany, but he'll be back for the next video. So let's get right in with the review for this game. We started off knowing that we needed to avoid defeat. Arsenal had already done us a favour by getting beat as usual and bottling things, so we knew that if we avoided defeat, we had a great chance of finishing the top four. So, but we didn't play like we were fighting for a top four finish. We started really sluggish. Our defence was awful. Epitomised by in the first few minutes where a long ball by Luke Shaw was controlled well by Lukaku, but he should have probably hit it first time, tried to move it to his left foot, and the chance was snuffed out. Lukaku in the first 15 minutes was playing like a man possessed. He was people were bouncing off him. He showed some good movement, some good touches, and the goal stemmed from him with a deft flick over to Luke Shaw, who then squared the ball back to Mata, who scored to make it 1-0. That goal was actually made in Chelsea because Luke Shaw was released by Chelsea as a young boy, and obviously we know that Lukaku was at Chelsea and has left, and we also had Mata at the Blues. So it would have been ironic if a goal which was made in Chelsea was the one that cost us a top four position. We didn't learn from that, and our defence was still all over the place. The two centre-backs were getting dragged out of position. Our full-backs were not great. Azpilicueta had an awful first half. I'm not sure what was wrong with him, but he's just like getting beaten easily, getting brushed aside easily. So yeah, not his best game. And Alonso, I think it was at fault for the first goal. He didn't make himself big enough, and he just moved out of the way of the Mata shot rather than getting his body in the line. I long for the day when we can get a centre-back who's just win at all costs and says, "I shall not be passed," and just throws his body at the ball and stops teams from having easy shots at goal. Closest we got to that is probably Rudiger, and he's not that great at it, but he's probably the best that we've got at that, as that sort of never say die attitude. If we look at the Burnley defenders last week, every single shot they put their body in the line for, whether it hit their face, their chest, whatever, they just threw their bodies at the ball, and it makes it harder for strikers to score. We've got to make ourselves big. We're too easy, we're too nice at the back, so we haven't got any of that ruggedness. So we long for those days of John Terry, of Cavallo, even Gallas, people like that who prized keeping clean sheets. They didn't want to lose easy goals. So come on, we need to get that spirit back, that mentality of strong defending. As this half went on, we weren't great. We were pretty poor in all aspects of the game, and we were very fortuitous with our goal because we got De Gea, who's having a really bad time of it of late. There was a speculative shot by Rudiger, and Alonso, to his credit, great movement and a good finish. And I joked to my son that Alonso is probably a better striker than he is a fullback. He takes up some good positions, and he's in fact got a good finisher. I wouldn't put him as a striker before everyone starts saying, "Oh, you think he should be up front?" But no, but I'm just sort of more tongue in cheek. But I'm saying that his attributes up front are a lot better than what he produces as a fullback. That goal knocked the stuffing out of Manchester United. So in the second half, I thought we were slightly the better team. Both teams weren't great, to be honest. A lot of mistakes, but we controlled the game better than they did in the second half. You could see the confidence was knocked out of them. They didn't really pose a great threat. One thing I have to say is about the referee there as well. Referee was atrocious as usual. Martin Atkinson is probably one of the worst referees out there. I wouldn't say that he was more biased for Chelsea. He's just a poor referee, because there were a couple of decisions where went in our favour as well. For instance, the Kovacic one, where he could have potentially got a second red. But there was a couple of incidences, like the Rojo tackle was disgraceful. How he didn't get a red tackle for that, I don't know. The Matic one, borderline red when he elbowed Azpilicueta in the face. Troy Deeney was sent off for something similar against Arsenal a couple of weeks ago, and not even to get a yellow card, really. And he was the same referee, if you think back when we played against Burnley a few years ago, where he didn't give didn't give Burnley a red card. Ashley Barnes nearly broke Matic's leg into two, and he let that ride. Matic was so disgusted by that, so he pushed Ashley Barnes. What happens? He gets the red card instead. Yeah, this guy, he misses blatant leg-breaking incidences. This guy, if he carries on refereeing games, one day someone's going to get a serious injury, because he just doesn't see it. There's another game earlier on this season where he was refereeing our match, and I think someone did a really bad tackle, and that too went unpunished. I can't remember what game it was, but this guy's got to drop down the leagues, because he's not good enough to referee in the Premier League. That's quite clear to see. So going back to the match review, as I said, second half was, as I said, we just slightly edged the second half. Towards the end, Rojo could have scored, and if Rojo had scored, I would have been hopping mad, because he shouldn't have been on the pitch in the first place. Great goal line clearance by Pedro. Then 7 minutes of extra time was played, and Higuain, what was he doing? No awareness at all. Hazard was square. Could have squared the ball to Hazard. We win the game. Top four is as good as sewn up. He just half-hearted shot. He should have either scored or squared it, but I'd have squared it. He needs to show more awareness. But Higuain was awful yesterday. Oh yeah, one of the worst centre forward displays that I've ever seen. He got caught offside more than Morata, and that says something. If someone can get caught offside more than Morata, they've got to be bad. He was offside. Well, I lost count after about 10. Movement was poor. Didn't hold up the ball. No awareness, as I said, especially with that one in the last minute. But there's a couple of other times when he didn't show the correct. He wasn't aware of the players in front of him to pass to. And yeah, all in all, an awful performance. When are we going to stop buying these strikers past their best? There's talk in the paper that we're after Cavani. That's 7 years too late for me. He's a good striker, but what we're going to be getting if he comes to us, is he going to? Obviously, he's not going to be the same sort of player that he was before. And let's get away from buying these strikers, these old strikers who are kind of coming to the twilight of their career. Let's try for a young, hungry striker. We've got Jovic, we've got Werner. Even bringing back Tammy Abrams, we just need a better striker. This season, I think our strikers have cost us, because somebody did some analysis on Twitter, which I saw, where if you add up the minutes played by our three strikers this year, Higuain, Morata and Giroud, I think they've played 2,600 minutes between them, and with a sum total of 9 goals. And then they compared it with Aubameyang, 2,509 minutes or something. Don't quote me on the exact figures. 19 goals. So that's double of what our three strikers have done. So no matter how we may criticise Sarri at times, but you have to have some sympathy for him as well, because if our strikers are not putting the ball in the back of the net, we haven't got anyone prolific to score the goals, then we're always going to struggle. We've been given another lifeline now. It's in our hands once again. We've got Watford to play. We've got Leicester to play. Leicester's not going to be easy. Hopefully, if we beat Watford and beat them well, I think that should be top 4 sewn up, because I don't see Arsenal getting anything out of the Burnley match, and Manchester United's goal difference is such that I can't see them catching us. So a good win against Watford, whose minds are going to be on the FA Cup, and hopefully a draw, or if we need to win against Leicester, then although they're a good side, it's going to be a difficult game, but we need to put in a decent performance if that means getting into the top 4. We'll see how it gets on. So let me know what your thoughts were of the game. Comment below. Remember to hit that bell notification. Subscribe, and I will be hitting you with another match review for our game against Eintracht Frankfurt on Thursday. So peace out. Keep the blue flag flying high.